as we closed off our last scene, I believe that you guys were going to sleep. And as each and every one of you drifted off into slumber, one by one, you all hear this cold, high-pitched laugh. You think you can stop me? And then it fades. The night goes on as you're sleeping in your beds in the inn. You wake up in the morning, the birds are chirping. And for the most part, you're all fairly well rested as you get up and go through your morning routine. So we are going to, again, go down our voice chat list one at a time, and we are going to start with Critter, who happens to have their camera on.
Hello.
That puts you next to me, so.
Hello.
Hig, what are you doing?
Does Hig remember the creepy laugh voice in the dreamland?
Roll me an insight check. I love where this is going already.
Passive or
You know what?
regular?
Passive insight works, yes.
So passive insight is 17.
You would, yes. Just, you don't remember much, you just remember... just a loud, or kind of a... Sorry, not loud, a cold, predatory cackle. And then the voice said something, but you're not quite sure. You can't really remember what it said, but you know it said something.
So she's just gonna like, creepy. And she actually keeps notes for stuff like that. Because she's old and she knows that it could mean something later.
Yeah.
So she's gonna start rustling through her bags out of her little, like jump out of her little hammock, start digging through her pouches and bags.
Yeah.
Until she finds it and start writing it down. And then as soon as that's done, she's gonna just have a look around to see if anybody else is awake.
People are... Your party is starting to... your party's getting up and starting to kind of move around, go through their morning routines. They're not quite fully conscious yet. They're more in the beginning stages of starting to rouse, I suppose. You're the first one up at this point.
Okay. She's gonna keep it to herself for now and just keep a close eye on everybody.
Mm-hmm.
And whip out the espresso machine and make it bigger.
Where's your espresso machine?
It's in one of my many bags. I guess I have to dig for it.
Gotcha. Anything else?
And I guess once it's set up, she's gonna look for Sol, because he's basically the one that she's been training on helping her make the morning coffees.
Sorry, looking for who?
Oh, no, wait, wrong. Oh, shit. That's... Fuck.
Wrong campaign!
Fuck. I don't have... That's... Oh, shit, I don't have the espresso on this one.
No, you don't.
Fuck.
No, you don't.
Oh,
You're gonna need to start drawing a wall between those campaigns. That's why I'm like, this is interesting.
This is the first time that's happened. Oh, shit.
It's like, this is interesting. Let's see where this goes. I have no idea what you're talking about in this campaign, but I'm just gonna let you keep going.
I'm not awake yet.
You're good.
Has Hig found out the miracles of instant coffee yet?
I don't... I guess because we're in the past, I don't know if that's something that would have been around. So I guess she's gonna have to just... I don't think she even packed regular... Oh, fuck.
Well, I mean, if you want to go find some coffee, there might be a chance to do it before you guys leave town. Or there's, I believe I said there's a couple of towns on the way, so you might be able to pop into one of the smaller towns and see what they've got.
Mm-hmm. Well, at the very least, I know she's got, like backup cream and stuff like that. So I guess she's just going to make her regular breakfast and keep an eye on everyone.
Cool.
To see if anybody is acting like they've had a rough night.
Cool.
Hig's new personal mission: find coffee.
Yeah.
Hig on the grand quest for coffee drags the rest of the party along. Love it.
Mood.
Ilardis, what are you and Kiba doing?
So after my long meditation, and I'm assuming the calming effects of the BS that I had to endure
Yep.
are worn off.
Yep.
He's gonna come out of his meditative state because again, elves can't sleep.
Yep.
And yeah, he's gonna give Kiba a couple of pets to wake him up and watch him just kind of like stretch and do that adorable yawn that he does.
Big stretch.
And then yeah, he's gonna be extremely pissed off and like look around for Kameko because at this point he's both pissed off and paranoid.
Roll me a perception check then. Let me know what you get.
Give me a sec because I totally prepared to have my D20s all set up and ready to go.
Yeah, just like me and having everything completely and utterly prepared for campaign. I love your initiative, dude.
Right? It's awesome.
Speaking of D20s, I'm going to grab my dice just in case.
I'm seeing shit with a 7.
Yeah, you're more just kind of rubbing the sleep out of your eyes. Sorry, elves don't sleep. You're more just rubbing, pulling yourself out of meditation in the morning. You're a little bleary, you're not quite focused. You're not quite all there yet this morning. Your brain's not firing on all thrusters, as it were. And as you're looking around the room, you don't really see much other than your party members getting up and about. What is your passive insight?
My passive insight? It's 11.
All right. You don't really remember much from the night before. There's not really much going on. So, we're going to move on to Nico.
Yep, he's gonna wake up, do his morning meditation,
Yep.
and then join Hig for breakfast. Be like, good morning.
Morning. You look cheerful.
I slept pretty good.
You slept really well.
Yeah. There was one point where I thought I heard something. I don't know.
Roll me what's your passive insight?
Hold on just a second. It is... where do I find that? I see perception.
Yes.
Oh, there it is. I found it. 13.
13? You actually don't remember anything from the night before.
Okay. Yeah, it's great.
Well, that's lovely. That's great. Cream?
Yes, please.
Goddamn brownies. Oh, as you get up and
So she's gonna pour you a little cup, but it's like a really tiny cup.
it's like,
It's her size cup, but it's...
I was gonna say, I envisioned it almost thimble sized.
He'll still take it and drink it, you know.
I mean, good manners are good manners. Yeah, so you get up, you do your morning meditation, you go down, you join Hig for breakfast, where you are invited to partake in a cup of cream with the tiny brownie. Your newest compatriot that you've just met after having watched one of your others, unfortunately, not quite make it this far. And we are going to move over to Yuki.
I'm gonna wake up, look around for Ilardis, see that he's up, and practically jump on him. Be like, "We gotta make those arrows. Let's go make the stone arrows. Come on, come
So, what is your passive insight?
Is that just like the bonus to it?
Nope. So your passive insight. So if you look over on the left side of your character sheet, down towards the bottom, you'll have, or around the middle or the bottom, you'll have a list that says passive or something like that, and then you'll have like
I
3
see it.
skills listed.
17.
17. Yuki, as you're waking up and looking around for Melardis, you have some thoughts floating around in your head. And then it just kind of pops out. You remember this cold, high-pitched, predatory laugh as you were drifting off to sleep, and you're not quite sure where it came from. You know it didn't come from in your room. Almost like it was echoing around in your head. Like it was put there. And you know there was a voice that said something, but you don't quite know what it said.
Come on, Elf, I'm hearing weird voices. Let's go make those arrows. Let's go.
And we move down to Vincent.
Mood.
Just give me one quick sec. So Jay, something like that is redeemed during combat. I will make note of that for next combat. When time comes, you will get to choose who gets to redeem that. Sorry, Vincent, go ahead.
Breakfast. Ah. Ugh. So, Vin will just kind of roll himself out of bed, blindly kind of clutch until he finds Denzel, his bat, and kind of like using it as like a walking stick, kind of gets himself up. Grumbles, drags himself out of his room, goes back into his room, puts pants and clothes on, then goes back out of his room and down to get himself some food.
Awesome. So almost traveled downstairs without pants. Love where this is going already. Congratulations.
Oh yeah.
So you're going down.
Same way I start my mornings.
You're going downstairs to join Hig and Nico, then, yes?
Oh yeah.
Cool. So, we are going to start with the folks downstairs on the lower level of the Cow and Grape Tavern slash inn slash, I guess, all-purpose building here. The 3 of you downstairs, you're sitting around a table. Vincent, as you walk downstairs, you notice that Hig and Nico are sitting at the table, both enjoying thimbles of cream. Both, Hig-sized glasses, as they have a spread of food on the table in front of them, and they're just kind of chatting, lazily, I guess is the word I'm looking for here. Not really talking.
Actually,
Oh, okay.
Hig is probably talking a mile a minute, really excited about what she's been working on. Her squirrel creation. She probably can't make out 3/4 of what's coming out of Hig's mouth because she's eating and talking at the same time, but it's happening.
I stand corrected. Hig is talking animatedly about projects and all of that. So, paint the scene for me, guys.
So, stumbling down the stairs, Vincent hears the chattering and spots them immediately, and kind of just shuffles over to the bar, kind of holding on to but kind of dragging his bat until he gets up to the bar and he says, "Food and coffee."
And the person behind the counter, Erevan, turns around and looks at you. I'm sorry, what?
I need food and coffee.
Gotcha, sorry. My mind was elsewhere this morning. You'll have to forgive me. That is absolutely fine.
Not a problem.
What were you looking for specifically?
Eggs and some other kind of meat, and just coffee.
I'm sure we can arrange that if you want to go join your the rest of your party over at the table. We'll have that out for you promptly.
Sure. So it's a distraction.
Oh no, just thinking about things. Planning life, world domination, that sort of thing.
Same.
Good man. Life's nothing if you're not plotting world domination, my fine man.
Of course.
Oh, like I said, if you go have a seat at the table with your friends, we'll have that out for you shortly, as soon as we can, as soon as we have things cooked up. How do you want your eggs this morning?
Cooked.
Do you want them scrambled?
Surprise
Do you
me.
want them surprise you? Ooh, living dangerously. I love it. All right. And he turns around and goes back to, steps in behind a door that you don't remember being there, but I mean, it's there now, so. And a moment later, there is sounds of sizzling coming from behind the door.
Perfect.
You
Then
smell-
he'll waddle over to the table.
Morning, Vincent.
Ow. I mean, hello.
You're not wearing any pants.
What's that?
You're not wearing any pants.
No, I went back and put them on.
Oh,
You must be
okay.
seeing me in the past.
My bad. I must have missed that part.
Yeah, he went back up. He started to go downstairs without pants, realized he didn't have them, went back and put them on, and then came downstairs.
Okay, that was my bad. How'd you sleep last night?
Fine. Mostly.
Just fine.
What's your,
Higgs actually going to stop talking and look at you very seriously.
Vincent, what's your passive insight?
13.
You don't remember anything. As far as you know, you slept well.
Slept okay. Nothing wrong. Just tired.
I see. All
Problem?
right. I don't know yet. Just sit and listen to me about my squirrel. And she's gonna start whipping out schematics, and you see it looks like a big, well, a standard-ish size mechanical squirrel, but it looks like she's intent on making something for her to write on.
You guys continue on. I will be back in just a moment.
It's actually really interesting that
I'm just missing a few parts, and then it will be amazing. And she gets this far distant look like she's daydreaming.
Right. Cool.
be mechanical, right? So it won't be like all fluffy and like.
I mean, I guess I could add fur over it to like camouflage it, but I personally like the look of the metal.
It might not be that comfortable to sit on.
That's why I made a saddle. Well, I'll be making it. I haven't made it yet. I need more parts. Always more parts.
Okay. Well, hopefully it'll be nice and comfy.
Even if it isn't, that's what magic is for. I could probably just snap my fingers and make that thing cushy.
I don't have magics, but that's cool that you do. Do you have a name for your squirrel?
Nah, I only name things once they've, come alive.
Earned their name?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, if you need any help, you can call Mr. Nuts.
I love it. And you'll see she'll add next to the schematics, Mr. Nuts.
So, the morning wanes on. You guys sit there chatting. And well, I mean, Hig's chatting kind of a mile a minute. The rest of you, the other two are you're just kind of sitting there listening, interjecting every so often, giving input when needed. We're gonna move back upstairs to Alardis and Yuki. What are you two doing?
So I'm just on my hands and knees, and like I'm kind of over his legs, so I'm not quite in his face, but practically in his face. Going, I want to make the arrows. Let's go. Come on, get out of bed. Let's go make the arrows.
I'm gonna pat Kiba on the head as he kind of does that, and then climbs out of bed. And as soon as he does, then you can almost hear the audible creak of the bed kind of going back to normal with how heavy and big he is as he pads slowly down the stairs. And I grab my bow and one of the arrows out of the quiver and try to sort of kind of get up, because I have a 7-foot tall furbolg on top of me.
I mean, when you go to get up, I'm gonna lean back and kind of sit on my legs.
So, you're getting him out of bed and whatnot. Yuki's a little more impatient this morning than most, and you do eventually manage to coax Ilardis out of bed, begrudgingly, almost. Do you guys stop downstairs to say hi, and do you stop for breakfast, or do you just head straight out of the tavern?
I'm skipping breakfast. I'll get it later. I'm going straight outside to a patch of dirt where this would be a lot safer than, say, inside the tavern where it could leak through the floor.
Okay, that's fair. So, without bothering to stop and say hi to your fellow party members, you head out of the tavern and start looking around for a place to sushi. Start looking around for a place to get your arrows made. One moment, please. The husband's home.
I'm at least saying hi to our party members and grabbing like 2 apples, one as a target and the other one to eat.
Oh yeah, you start looking around for a place to get your arrows made.
Like, all I need is one of his basic arrows, which he's bringing with him.
So, just to refresh your guys' mind, you put the arrow in the quiver, or sorry, the quiver itself comes stocked with an arrow in it. The quiver is also enchanted with spell storing, so you can throw a spell into the quiver and it will enchant the arrow as you pull it out. It's basically a never-ending quiver with spell storing.
Yes, but he doesn't have the quiver because it's currently at the temple getting enchanted.
Oh, right. Sorry. Okay.
So he has just the arrow.
Right.
Which is all I need. So I'm going to grab the arrow from him.
Okay, so you grab the arrow from him.
I'm going to crouch down above, a little bit of dirt, like in an alleyway or something, just to the side of the tavern.
Yep.
And you know that potion, the oops potion?
Yep.
That will turn something to stone for 4 days?
Yep.
I'm going to drop just 2 or 3 drops onto the tip of the arrow and have him fire it at something organic. A tree. I think he said he was going to grab an apple to use as target practice.
Okay.
So I'm going to have him fire the arrow, and we're going to see what happens.
All right. So, Ilardis.
Yeah. On the way down the stairs, I say hi to our party members. I also grabbed an apple to munch on and an apple to excuse me, and an apple to shoot. It's organic, so I figured why not.
You can say hello to your party members, grab an apple, and you get set up and whatnot with this arrow, with this potion, with a couple of drops of this potion on it. Roll me. How far away are you setting the apple?
Let me check real quick because I don't want to do this at disadvantage.
Oh, you're good.
About 150 feet away.
150 feet? Alright, so please roll me an attack, I suppose, with your bow.
That is going to be a dirty 20.
Dirty 20. Yeah, you managed to hit this apple, not a problem. You knock your arrow up, you aim, and you're not really pressured, and you let it fly, taking a moment to just steel yourself, and then you let it go. And your arrow absolutely flies true, and then a moment later with a thunk, it hits the apple, knocks the apple off of its perch, and onto the ground. And out of sight for a moment as it sort of rolls behind a garbage can almost. One moment, please. Yeah. So it rolls behind an almost trash can like object, and out of sight.
I'm gonna go find the apple.
Go find the apple. Roll me an investigation check. You find the apple as you look around for it. You find it kind of just laying just behind this trash can. And as you're looking at it, the apple is starting to turn gray in color and looking almost like a stone apple. The arrow is also stone.
Arrow? Like, from tip to feather?
Every part of it.
Note to self, do not get this potion on anything you care about. Is the ground around it turning to stone too?
Nope, just the apple and the feather. Or just the
But
apple and the
should
arrow,
we say-
rather.
Like, I could pick this up and my hand's not going to turn to stone.
Yep, you absolutely can pick it up. It looks like you can pick it up in your hands.
I'm going to do that and wave it above my head and go, sweet, it worked! We need like 100 of these.
As you pick it up, describe to me how you're picking this this object up.
Bend down and grab it, like you would a stick or whatever.
I'm picking it up by the arrow.
And just wrap my hand around it. Yeah, pick it up by the arrow.
That arrow is firmly embedded inside of what used to be the apple, to the point where they are now both attached together.
That's okay. I can still pick it up and wave it around, right?
Absolutely.
Inadvertently made a mace?
Was there anything else from you two?
I'm gonna trot back to Alardis and be like, I'm gonna keep this because I'm gonna smash something in the face with this, but we need to go shopping for arrows so we can make a bunch of these. Yep.
Apples tend to keep the doctor away. That one is going to have the doctor come to you if you get hit with that.
I am the doctor. The doctor says die.
So you now have this makeshift mace, almost, in your hand. What else are you guys doing this morning?
I'm gonna go have breakfast.
You move back into the tavern where Nico and Hig and Vincent are sitting at the one of the tables. Vincent is currently burying his face in a plate of eggs and meat with a cup of coffee. Nico is sitting there with the usual nuts and berries, and Hig is sitting there with a saucer of cream. Or, sorry, a cup of cream. A little thimble, almost. They're just chatting.
Does Yuki still have the makeshift mace in hand?
Oh yeah, I come in and just like plop this thing on the table, right in the middle. Be like, hey guys, my experiment worked.
Oh, that's so cool.
Oh, neat.
What is it?
Note to y'all, remember that messed up potion I made? Don't touch it.
Why? What would happen?
And I'm gonna gesture to the mace apple.
Hag will like have her hand just hovering around it and be like, never mind.
Is it safe to touch?
Yeah, just don't get the actual potion on you, and you should be okay.
Nico's just gonna poke the mace apple.
It rolls a little bit, wobbles back and forth as you poke it on the table. Doesn't really do much else.
On the bright side, if you get some potion on you, it's only gonna last for about 4 days. Do not drink.
Congratulations, you found a way to time travel.
Sweet.
And so, in theory, remember the old 90s Gargoyles cartoon?
Yes.
Yes.
I can
Yes.
turn you all into a gargoyle.
Nice.
Cool.
That'll be helpful against Nico.
Exactly my point. We can't kill her, we can at least turn her to stone for a few days. Ooh, I wonder what would happen if we turned her to stone and then smashed her.
I mean, I guess if... Oh, you mean like to pieces.
I would like to turn her into gravel if at all possible.
Is there another way to smash somebody?
I'll tell you when you're older.
I'm just gonna gently pat Nico on the head, going, "You poor sweet summer child."
You poor cinnamon roll. So, the morning moves on. You guys finish your meal. What are you doing? You start to stand up and whatnot, and the tavern keeper just kind of looks at you and nods. Doesn't really say anything, and just kind of nods and comes and clears out your dishes. And as you finish your meal, so any plans for today?
We gotta
Mountain
go
climbing.
get. Yeah, we gotta go get Alardis's thing, and then we're going up the mountain.
Going up the mountain.
After a quick stop at an arrow shop.
Are you ready to go through the forest?
Yep.
Well, I mean, we should be. It's just a forest, right? Is there anything weird about the forest?
And that forest is, well, if you don't know your way around in there, let's just say it's easy to get lost in. Everything looks the same. The trees grow extremely close together. There's underground pits and caves that you can fall into. Sometimes you don't always see them until you're on top of them. And
You're
from what I've heard, the path through the forest you can see from one direction, but you can't see from the other. Actually, it's...
Is it one of those? Oh, sorry, you're saying?
No, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, is it one of those things that's haunted by fairies?
I mean, I don't know. I've never actually been in the forest myself. This is just what I've heard. Just from travelers and passersby. I mean, we are a major port city, so we get all sorts of type through here. And as one of the main places, one of the main tavern slashings in town, in the city. I mean, I hear all sorts of things. So,
You know where there's a, like, I assume something like foresters or rangers outposts would be further out in the outskirts of the city, huh?
I mean,
Like someone we could talk to for tips.
not that I know of. It's pretty much a free-range forest. We don't really have people that go in. I think there's a couple of towns in there somewhere. And like I said, unless you know the area, it's easy to get lost. But
Well, I mean-
no ranger stations that I know of.
Well, I mean, I've heard that people have come in and out for business, for just going between towns, right?
Yeah,
There's no guard posts through the forest?
not that I've been made aware of.
Huh. Okay.
And people who come in and out of that forest generally, if they're coming in for business, they generally know where they're going.
Makes sense.
So,
Alright.
so
Well, thank you for the tip. Before we head out, maybe we should think about something to find our way back in as well. Lengths of cloth or something that we could just tie to tree branches or something.
Haig has like butt tons of compasses.
Well, we can't tie compasses to trees. We'll run out of compasses faster than we'll run out of strips of cloth.
I mean, compasses can be tricked too. So what about maybe marking the trees, like a dagger making an X on a tree, and hope nobody fucks with that?
You're not marking up trees. Brownies are fey, guys. You'll be fine.
Alright, fair enough. Alright, well, before we go walking through a forest, I'm gonna go make a stop by the bathroom. I'll be right back, guys.
And while he's peeing, I'm going to drag a Lardis to whatever shop's closest that sells arrows and quivers.
yeah.
I also happen to have Natural Explorer. I have two favorite terrain types.
Okay.
One of them just happens to be a forest.
Naturally.
We're good.
Naturally. Alright, so, you're looking for a bowyer, yes?
Yes.
Okay.
But before that happens, I ended up getting an idea of how we can manage to safely use these, I guess, Gorgon arrows is what I'm calling them now. Gorgon arrows.
Oh, I like that.
And I look over at Hig, and I go, is there any possible way that you'd be able to make an arrow that's kind of like a, I guess, tranquilizer dart, sort of?
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, it depends. Like, do you want it to do anything else?
Basically just to safely put this, very dangerous to touch / drink potion into the arrow itself, and then when I end up firing it and it hits its target, provided that the target is organic, like say the head of Kameko, it'll transmit the potion and turn her to stone for 4 days.
I like how you were just...
Absolutely.
I like how you were just extremely specific there.
Yeah. Haig is already starting to draw various blueprints of all the different ways she could make this work. I can already think of a couple different ways I could make that work.
As she does.
So we don't need a bowyer? You two got this?
Yeah, but just
Oh.
need to go back to my shop to make it go faster.
Okay, that works. Because, Tofu was making some good points. Like, what happens if the potion's dry? Does that still work? Does it have to be wet to work?
Are we using meta knowledge?
Apparently.
You're not-
Because it's got me thinking now, maybe we should do more
You're
tests.
not supposed to be using meta knowledge. Sorry.
Well, but I mean, I'm just thinking with my thinking pants. Can I do an Arcana and see if, like, what I would know on how to deal with a substance like that,
Absolutely, you can.
and what the extent of its uses are?
Absolutely. Roll me, yeah, roll me an Arcana check, and, I mean, either that or an I think you guys don't have alchemy on here, do you?
No, it's not on this one.
Yeah, roll me an Arcana or an Insight check in that case.
A 19.
So, you do know that the potion has to be wet, which means it has to be liquid in order to be able to drop it.
That's what I
this
figured,
is also, from what you were able to tell, a type of potion that when the last drop is in the bottle itself is going to turn to stone.
Okay. So right now it's in a bottle,
It is,
and the bottle is safe and secure, and it's not gonna like spill anywhere.
for the moment, yes.
Yeah,
From,
it's corked, it's in my bag.
Okay.
How big is it, though?
Yeah,
Like,
I was gonna
that
say.
was never established. Is it just a little vial? Is it, like, a good size?
you know what? Let me roll for that. One moment, please.
We never did figure that out. We just went, I'm making potions. One of them's funky. We'll figure it out later.
It's probably about that big, give or take.
So a good, decent amount.
So like the size of a tennis ball?
Think of... Let's see if I have something here we can compare size to.
Like about a lemon or so?
About the size of that.
Oh, okay.
So, there's a fair bit in it.
Yeah, if we only need 2 or 3 drops per arrowhead.
Yeah, but it's not something that you can just dip in the arrowhead. Like, you can't dip an arrow in it and have it work. Like, you basically, your arrowhead would turn to stone, and that would, like,
Yeah.
that would be the use of the potion. Like, it would become inert after
You
that.
have to drip the drops on the arrow. You can't just dip the arrowhead, otherwise everything turns to stone. Everything.
Yeah, so drop the drops on like I did.
Yes.
Which is going to take an action to do every time, so kind of not even worth that. So yeah,
Well-
tranquilizer darts.
Yeah, well, I was thinking something more along the lines of, like, I mean, we can either make it like not mess with the vial, like not mess with the container that it's on right now, and Hig makes basically a custom nade launcher for that thing, or we can downscale and try to put the potion in slightly smaller vials that would, explode on impact.
I'm thinking maybe get it into smaller somethings. Maybe not necessarily vials, but something that can be thrown at her, shot at her, and this way explode on impact. It's not going to hurt us. It can still be launched, and we get more than one use.
Okay.
So, I need to know what you guys are doing as you guys are talking and planning and plotting, because I need to know where you guys are going next.
Back to Higgs for the tinkering of the potion.
I think I might have an idea. So I had been looking at making some of these, but with a different liquid in them. But it's basically, think of it kind of like a wind-up toy that would just run its course and then explode at the end. Though I was thinking of making these more like fireflies.
Hig,
Yeah?
roll me a perception check.
9.
Alright, so you're walking up the road to your shop with the party in tow, and you get there. You unlock the door, the busy bustling street, and you walk in, and you're a little more wrapped up in your thoughts, and you're trying to figure out how to make this, and you get a couple of different ideas. It's about, I guess, midday-ish, getting closer to kind of late morning / early afternoon, and you go rummaging around in a few piles, and eventually manage to pull out the pieces that you might need for this. How long do you figure it would take you to make something like this?
So with these, that's what I had been looking at to see how long some of these take. So it all depends on really what I decide to go with. So if I use magic, I just have to find kind of a spell that sort of matches it. Then it doesn't take me as long. But on average, let me see here. We're looking at anywhere between 4 to 8 hours. No, 1 to 8 hours.
Okay.
Per device.
Okay.
Some of it depends on like complexity level and all that kind of junk.
It's going to take you a bit to work out the plans, though. You can gather the pieces you think you're going to need, but if you guys are going to head up the mountain, you're going to have to leave relatively soon, so you're going to have to work on it on the way.
Yeah, so I need to basically grab everything that I would normally... I mean, I pretty much already have... Hig already is a walking shop, just she needs a few extra things.
Roll me an insight check.
I'm back.
Welcome back.
Welcome back.
23.
23. As you're rooting around your shop and grabbing the pieces that you need, it something suddenly clicks in your brain. It's midday, and your shop door was locked.
Shit.
There's nobody else in here other than you guys.
Hooray.
Where's my assistant?
Oh my.
And Hig will start... He technically has like a room in the shop as well. She's gonna go check it out.
Roll me a perception check.
15.
There's nobody in the room.
Does it look like he came home at all? Like, does it look slept in or anything?
Roll me an investigation check, because I have some information for you depending on what you roll.
20.
Not in the room. However, the workbenches look like your assistant was working on something and then suddenly got up and left. Left everything out as it was.
Which is not like
in the
him.
middle of working on what appears to be a clockwork, like one of those old steampunk clockwork watch, pocket watches.
Yeah, it's one of the shop specialties.
Yeah. And he's just gone.
I'm trying to think of a way if she would have already... There's no sign of like where he could have gone.
From here, there is not. You do, however, notice a drop of blood splattered on the watch.
Hold on a sec here. It's only in that one spot, nowhere else?
Just that one spot.
I'm gonna go back and find the others wherever they are in the shop. I'm gonna bring it with me, but I'm gonna use Mage Hand so that I'm not actually physically touching it.
Smart move. Okay.
And yeah, so Hig's gonna come rushing out of a side room, looking all worried. Hold on, I gotta.
Sorry, that was my cats.
Yeah.
Uh,
So yeah, Hig's gonna come running out, there with this little, looks like a watch hovering in the air above her, and shit, words. Something's wrong. Something's wrong. And
Okay.
yeah, so she's gonna, and Hig is gonna float the little watch to like in between where you guys don't, and wave her little hands around. So don't touch it. Don't touch it. There's blood on it. My assistant is missing. He wasn't home. It's midday and the shop was closed. The shop is never closed midday. Something is wrong. And she's just gonna panic a little bit, which is not like her.
okay.
He wasn't kidnapped too.
I don't have any tracking things. That's not my gig. I don't do the tracking thingies. Why didn't I give him a phone? I could have made him a phone years ago. Why didn't I make one?
Okay. So, how did they, like, so someone came and, what, hurt them, knocked them out, kidnapped them,
I don't know. I just
and then locked the door behind them when they left?
well, maybe doesn't have to. Maybe they came in from somewhere else. I have to keep looking. And she's gonna hover the watch down to a near workbench and just don't touch it, but help. And she's gonna go and start looking like at all her windows and see if anything else is broken or signs of blood, struggle, all that kind of stuff. Anything that could be out of place.
Roll me an investigation check. Sorry, somebody else was going to say something?
I've met him before, right? Like, talked to him a couple times and whatnot.
You guys have all met him.
You all have.
Yeah, so I can use sending and see if I can get a hold of him.
Okay.
If he's conscious, he should be able to at least say if he's okay or not.
Read the spell out to me.
Yeah, it's the first thing I looked for. I didn't have any comm spells.
You send a short message of 25 words or less to a creature with which you are familiar. The creature hears the message in its mind, recognizes you as the sender if it knows you, can answer in a likely manner immediately. It enables creatures with intelligence scores of at least 1 to understand the meaning of your message. You can send it across any distance, even to other planes of existence, but if the target's on a different plane of existence than you, there's a 5% chance the message doesn't arrive.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, you can absolutely try that. So, what is your message? Hey, we'll get back to you in a second.
No problem.
I'm going to say, are you okay? You're missing from the shop. There was blood. Where are you?
There is no answer.
Okay, so I'm not getting an answer. He might not be conscious.
And Hig rolled a 5.
On investigation? Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Sorry, give me 1 second, guys.
No worries.
While you're doing that, Alardis is going to kneel down on one knee and place his hand on the floor. I'm also going to roll a survival check because I have a class feature called Favored Enemy.
Okay.
I have advantage on survival checks to track my favorite enemies, as well as on intelligence checks to recall information about them.
What is your...
I also...
Sorry, go ahead.
Hmm?
No, go ahead.
No, and if they speak one at all. My favorite enemy happens to be humanoids.
Okay. So, what are you attempting to do with this tracking skill and survival check and all that?
Basically to see if I can find like any sort of struggle, if I can find his footprints, even if there's barely any dust. Because I get advantage on it.
Roll me a survival check. And I believe you said that's at advantage, yes?
Yep.
Okay.
That would be a 10.
Is that with advantage?
That was unfortunately with advantage. The first one was an 8.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Ouch.
So, yeah, you don't really see any sign of struggle or anything like that.
He's gonna stand back up and kind of rub the bridge of his nose with his finger and thumb and like, I'm sorry, I must be off my game today.
As you guys are looking around, there is a rather frantic knocking that pops up at the door. The front door.
I'll
Pig's
knock
going
back.
to bolt.
Kind of like this. And it doesn't stop.
Pig's making a run for the door.
I immediately have my sword drawn because I don't have my arrows.
I'll make way for Hig.
Oh, Hig, you go and you answer the door. Standing on the other side is a tabaxi. Actually, a tabaxi that you know fairly well. It is a regular on this street, regular of yours. He just kind of looks at you for a moment, looks around. Hig, are you okay?
No, I'm not okay.
What's going on?
I forgot his name again.
His name is Whisperpaw.
Oh, no, I meant the assistant.
We'll go with Bob because I totally can't remember
Yeah,
his name.
I'm completely blanking out. Bob. Bob is missing.
Either that or pick a name that suits you, and we'll go with that, and I'll write it in my notes.
I like
officially.
Bob.
You like Bob? Okay, one moment.
Make it sound fantasy. Robert.
Bobbert.
Roberto.
Your assistant's missing? Maybe that explains who I saw was dragged down the street last night.
You saw somebody getting down the street last night?
I mean, I tried.
And you're here now?
I tried to tell people, nobody'd listen.
Well, where? Which direction?
That way. And this tabaxi kind of looks at you and then points down the street towards out of the city gates, straight down the main street.
Would that happen to be towards the mountain as well?
Sure would.
All right.
Okay.
Do you know what's going on?
I think I have an idea, and if I'm right, then there's a dragon bitch that's really going to die. But more people are going missing, and now it looks like they're not even bothering to see if they're in the forest. They're taking them right out of the town.
So what do you think we should do?
You will stay here and stay alive.
Try not to disappear.
I mean, I have no intentions of disappearing. Are you sure you're gonna be okay?
Oh, I'll be fine. She's actually going to hand him a spare set of keys, and I need you to please look after the shop. Even if just keep it closed, just keep an eye on things. And if anybody comes looking,
You don't
just
want me to take orders for you or anything like that?
if you really want to, yeah, you can make a list and just leave it on the front desk and just tell people I went on a hunting trip.
I'll see what I can do for you. I'll gladly watch your shop for you. I mean, you've been a constant around here for quite a few years, so I hate to see your shop shrivel up and die. I'll just let them know it'll take a bit longer, and then you'll be back soon.
You betcha. Thank you.
Okay.
And if anything else happens, just go right to the sheriff or whatever
tried
we
that.
have here. Well, try again, and this time tell him he'll hear from me if he doesn't take you seriously.
Gotcha. Will do.
I'll haunt his ass if I have to.
Good luck, I suppose. I hope you get your helper back.
We'll get Bob back.
So, the tabaxi turns around, takes the keys from you, turns around, and kind of moseys on back. Not moseys, but more runs off back down the street. What do you guys?
All right.
All right. Well, Hig's gonna turn back to you guys. She actually looks really mad. You guys haven't really seen that very much. There's a lot of pointy teeth.
Yep.
All right. Let's just get what we need to get and get her.
Yeah.
How much space would you need to be tinkering these, what were you gonna make? Fireflies?
Yeah.
How much space do you need?
With a construct like that, I don't think I need to be in a shop or anything. I think I just need to have the time to sit there and build them.
Roll me an insight.
Who's rolling the insight?
Hig.
22.
22?
To know their own abilities?
So, these fireflies, you shouldn't need much space. I mean, your standard campsite will do. You just have to have the time. You can't do that while you're traveling. You actually have to be, sitting still or kind of in one spot. So long as you're stationary. But again, if you're heading up the mountain, the only time you're going to be able to do that is when you guys make camp. So it's going to take a bit longer than normal, probably more than a couple of days.
Could I potentially, because I am small enough, say if I was riding in a baby backpack?
You're gonna need...
That's what I was thinking. I'm 7 feet tall. Hig's only, what, not even a foot? 2 feet maybe?
Okay, so you're gonna need a bit more space than that. And
okay.
Even if you're riding in a baby backpack, you do know that the bumps and the jostles could potentially throw off your calculations.
Yeah, and in this case, I will be working with something called miasma to make them work, and it is volatile stuff, so... At least according to what it says.
Yep.
Okay, so no riding on my shoulder tinkering along the way.
No, I could plan and I could make blueprints probably, but I don't... Those particular things I could not build while moving.
So...
Okay, so I can carry you while you do your plans and whatnot, and then the actual building can be when we stop to rest.
Yeah.
So, as you guys are chatting and whatnot, the rest of you are just kind of sitting around. Nico, what are you doing? Nico?
Sorry, I'm making my kids lunch. Give me a minute.
Okay, we'll come back to that. You know what? We're actually going to take a 15-minute break here. We'll be back at quarter two. So for me, it is 1:30, so we'll just say about 1:45, give or take. Grab a drink refill, grab a snack refill. That should give everybody a chance to do what they need to do. 15 minutes, guys. So, you guys, it sounds like you guys have a plan for your characters, yes?
Yes.
So we are going to move forward a bit, and we are going to assume that you guys have everything wrapped up, because we have now spent, I think, 4 sessions in this town, and we are going to attempt to move things ahead. Just a bit. You guys, I will paint the scene in one moment. What is the audio that I want? Once again, if our audience would like to listen to our audio, one moment while I grab the playlist, or while I grab the link. This is our audio link. You guys are more than welcome to listen in with our players. It is in the Twitch chat. And I'm going to go grab our music.
By the way, Blaze, remind me later to tell you about the emo frog joke, okay?
Yeah, we'll get to that off stream.
Yeah, that's why I said later.
Okay. Not that one.
It's just a funny story.
Let me see here. Let's go with... Let's see what this audio's. No, that is definitely city vibes. We don't want that. We'll try this one. Yeah, this one will do.
We're in a city.
You guys...
We're leaving it.
yeah, so I'm going to paint the scene for you. As soon as that itch works its way out of my nose, because I think I'm going to sneeze here in a moment.
There it goes.
That was a twofer! Alright. So, it's about midday at this point. Pretty much, you know, noon, lunchtime, that sort of thing. The sun's high in the sky. It's fairly decent weather. And you guys have done your shopping, gathered up your stuff. Quickly, which items, are there any items that we missed that you guys want to buy?
I know, I think it was one of the tanneries anyways. I gotta go pick up Kiba's leather armor.
Okay, that has been prepaid, yes?
Yep.
Okay, then we will assume that you got Kiba's leather armor. And we will figure that out after stream today. Is there anything else that we did not wrap up while we were in town?
Quiver.
You what?
The quiver at the temple.
Yep. We will assume that you guys got the quiver. Anything else?
I need some, basically, I just need a spell that I can use as a template for creations.
You need a spell that you can use as a template for creations.
So if I can construct magical items, I just need to know, like, the spell and put it in the machine. I want to make little ice bombs.
That's something that would probably... So in order to do that, you have to imbue your constructs with magic that you personally know, which means it would have to be something that you learn, that you can channel into the machinery itself.
Yeah, I guess that goes that way.
So
Shit.
that would come from your spell list.
Yeah, alright, I guess for that one I'm gonna have to wait.
Yep.
I was kind of hoping that I could use, like, a wand or something and just...
Nope. That's gonna have to,
bop it.
that's gonna have to come from your spell list.
Okay.
Anything else? Cool. Love it. So, Vincent, watch the keystrokes.
Oops, sorry.
So, you guys are standing at the edge of town. All of your things have been gathered. All of your doings have been done. The sun sits high in the sky. It is midday as you start out, having had a decent leisurely morning in the main port city of this area, in Calderos. And you start to... Well, you guys are basically standing at the edge of city limits. The city gates. You're standing there looking out the door, and the guards are just kind of staring at you, like, why are these idiots standing and just staring out the door at the land on the other side? And you guys step foot through the gate, And this is where we are picking up. So, as you move outwards from the city, there's a few houses and a few buildings here and there. Nothing like major. It's mostly farmhouses and farmland, and you get like the odd general store every once in a while. And then there seems to be more and more room between these places. The farmlands get bigger, they get more expansive, and you start to see crops being grown in the ground instead of like actual farm animals and whatnot. And this is, you would assume, one of their major points of production for the crops for the city year round, or at least the stuff that will grow in the ground. And as the hours wane on, you guys leave all of this behind into just straight up flat land. Off in the distance, you can see a mountain jutting up from the ground, almost like the ground has decided to reach up and touch the heavens. At the base of this mountain, you can see what appears to be hints of trees, fairly tight-knit. It almost looks like a sea of green from where you're standing at the moment. But the ground itself is fairly flat. It is a bit chilly. I mean, it is getting to that time of year where, you know, harvest season, the end of the life-giving seasons almost, as the world prepares for the winter that is coming. As you guys travel onwards and outwards, and I am going to need to please know. I'm going to please need to know marching order.
I'm squishy, so I want to be in the middle, probably with Hig, because is Hig riding on me in some fashion or another?
Nah, for the beginning of the journey, especially given that she's got a lot on her mind right now, she's going to be walking on her own.
Okay, well, I still want to be in the middle.
Give me 1 second. Alright, so we have 5 people here. Who's first?
Since we're going through the forest, it'd probably be me.
Well, right now you guys are just going through flat lands, but you will eventually be going through the forest. Do you still want that to be you?
Yeah, sure. Make it easy.
Who's second?
Hig will be walking near the front for the beginning of the journey. She is more familiar with the area, too.
Okay. Who's third?
Me.
Okay, that is Yuki. Who's fourth?
I'll just say Vincent will be bringing up the rear.
Hey,
On his motorcycle, but not with the motorcycle on. Just kind of wheeling it along.
Nico, are you okay with being fourth?
Yep.
Cool.
I was gonna say I'll pretty certain.
Cool. Ilardis, I'm going to need 2 perception checks from you for this part of the day, please.
Yeah, on it. Give me 1 second. First one is going to be a 23.
Okay.
Second one's going to be a 10.
So, you're wide-eyed and bushy-tailed as you guys start out. You're more keeping an eye out for anything and everything that you can. And as the day goes on, it's more of the same. Flat lands. It's probably going to take you guys, at least by your estimate, probably a couple of days to get to the edge of the forest. It's a fair bit of travel, and you're not sure how long it's going to take you to get up the mountain. But the land just seems to keep on going and going. And the flatlands don't stop. And as the day moves on, your eyes start to glaze over just from staring at absolutely nothing.
Question: is there like any birds in the sky or butterflies or anything?
Roll me a perception check, please.
Okay. Well,
How much?
12.
12? So, kind of glancing around, there's a couple of birds flying through the air as you're watching things. One of them gives out a shrill shriek, and you watch as it kind of dives towards the ground, and a moment later soars back up, dives down to the ground with its talons outstretched, and comes in and swoops back up. And you notice that in its talons, it's actually got what appears to be a tiny little animal. It's almost like this bird went for dinner.
Okay, I'm just gonna say that Nico has been watching birds and stuff like that, making little whistling noises at them.
One of them just kind of... one of them hears your whistling, and it actually circles well overhead for a moment, and then it flies off and does bird things.
Can you try to like lure one to like land on his finger?
To land on your finger?
Uh-huh.
What are you trying to do? Like, how are you doing this?
I just put a finger out.
Nothing happens. Nothing really happens.
They'll keep trying for a few more minutes.
Yeah, nothing overly happens. You don't really get them. Like, one of them seems curious, but again, decides it's probably better if it doesn't. Yeah, if it doesn't, because, I mean, humans and humanoids are weird, and it seems hesitant almost, and a moment later it flies off. What are the rest of you doing as you're walking down this road off towards the forest that's literally just a straight arrow? For those of you in Canada, think of Saskatchewan.
Yeah.
Do I have to?
Exactly. Imagine that you're walking through Saskatchewan.
But I don't want to.
I've done that.
Walked through Saskatchewan, you poor individual.
Nah.
Would it be considered grasslands?
This, no.
Okay.
Wait, really?
It's prairie type-ish.
More like plains.
Plains, yes. Not grasslands.
Ah, okay, I get it.
So what are the rest of you?
1 foot in front of the other, try not to die of boredom.
And
Hig is going over the map copies that she had made of the area to sort of gauge what's... I mean, I'm assuming we're a couple hours in now?
you're more than a few hours in. You're like
Oh.
you'd be like halfway through the afternoon at this point.
So close to dinner time.
Yeah, getting close to dinner time.
Yeah. So Hig is basically looking for a spot for them to like camp and stuff.
I mean, it's all flat land. There's not really much of anything around here. No.
How much walking? How much longer till we reach like foresty mountain area?
So, at the rate you guys are going, and with how much terrain you've traveled, you should reach it by, say, tomorrow evening, if that. It's going to take you like a day and a half to 2 days to get there, a couple of days. But you guys are making fairly good time, just trying to get through this because it's boring as shit.
Yeah. Okay, so basically she's just gonna keep an eye on things, and whenever it's looking like people are getting tummy rumbled, she'll call for but
Excuse me, well, one of our players is attacked by Burb.
You good?
Bird wanted food.
yeah, he was trying to steal my cracker. I've been fighting him off this whole time.
Eh.
So Hig gets carried away by a bird. No, sorry, Hig, continue, please.
But yeah, when it looks like people are going to be hungry, she'll call a good area for camp.
So, and the day wanes on, and you call for an area for camp, and there's basically a spot by the side of the road, just like every other spot by the side of the road. There's one like right next to the spot that you're grabbing. There's one right on both sides, pretty much. Like, take a pick. As Hig calls for camp to be made. And for the rest of you?
What's the ground like? Like, is it dry? Is it snowy, muddy?
At the moment, it is flat and it is dry. Wisps of grass, you know, it's think of like late fall season almost. Kind of dried, on the verge of not dying grass, but prepping for kind of winter slumber. It's getting towards the end of fall season.
So my ass won't get wet if I plop it on the ground.
You what?
So my ass won't get wet if I plop it on the ground.
No, you won't get your ass wet if you plop it on the ground.
Cool. When Hig points out a spot, I'm plopping my ass.
Anyone else?
Yeah. Vincent's just gonna take that cue and pop his motorcycle up, have a rest.
And Nico, you were saying something.
I'll just plop down next to Yuki.
Hilarious?
Although Vincent is going to also just stay on his feet and walk around for a bit, because now his ass is sore from wheeling his motorcycle around.
Hilarious?
The entire time that he's been walking, he's gonna have his arm kind of like at a, I'm bad at angle math, but not exactly straight, but like a little up, and just to see if a bird lands on his arm. He's gonna have like a piece of jerky in his hand too.
So you're trying to tempt one of the birds to land?
Yes.
Roll me a charisma check, please.
Or would that be animal handling?
Roll me an animal handling check, please.
Or would it be foraging?
So Vincent takes 1d4 psychic damage. Not
I think
seriously.
it depends on if his intention is to eat the bird or make friends with the bird.
I mean, you can use animal handling to hunt. Betrayal.
I mean, you're not wrong. But that raises moral and
But if he's
ethical
not
issues.
hunting- If he's not hunting, is it really foraging?
But that also raises moral and ethical issues. So what'd you get, Ilardis?
8.
No. They don't come anywhere near you.
I mean, it's more personal if you make friends with the cow before eating it.
Spoken like a farmer.
Okay. Well, you guys make camp, set everything up, your sleeping bags, your tents, whatever you got. Somebody? Who's trying to set up the fire?
I can.
Okay. Did you guys bring firewood?
Did we?
Who knows plant growth?
Our druid's dead, Vincent.
Yeah, that would have been the dead druid.
Hold on, I'm looking.
I'm just continuously pulling out arrows out of my quiver and setting them down.
I mean,
Infinite arrow. If there was, why not?
You know? Hey! Perfect!
that's a good use for it.
I give you guys
Fire-
a never-ending quiver for arrows that have a magical purpose. You can be them with whatever magic you want, and you use the quiver to fucking make a goddamn campfire.
Oh, don't worry, I'm gonna be a badass with this thing later. Just for the time being, nothing's going on, so may as well use it for a practical.
Fuck's sakes. All right,
It's
Brilliant.
initiative.
Here, have some of my parchment. You can use it for starting it.
Yuki. Roll me a survival check.
Wait, what? Why?
You're making the campfire. Roll me a survival check.
While they're doing that, Vincent is going to clear some ground of any grass close to them.
21.
Yeah. It takes you probably about 15-20 minutes, but you do eventually manage to get a fire by using parchment and Ilardis' arrows.
I have a question then.
Mm-hmm.
Why would it take 15 to 20 minutes if I'm using firebolt?
Oh, okay. In that case, yeah, go for it.
In which case, I also do not need the parchment.
And in which case, you also would not need the survival check. My bad.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I question the survival check.
God fucking damn it.
I'm just gonna pop out a fire spell. There, we have fire.
I choose to be here.
This is your fault.
So, you guys eventually have... I mean, it's not the biggest fire, but you guys do eventually manage to get a fire going as camp sets up. And Vincent is apparently clearing out an area of all the grass, literally just ripping the grass up from the ground, I assume.
More just kind of... Yeah, actually. Just kind of digging.
Well, you managed to clear the grass. What are you attempting to do?
Just making sure there's no grass close to where we're setting a fire.
Okay, that's fair. So, yeah, you...
Like making a fire break kind of thing.
Yeah, so you guys end up having a fire going, you set up your sleeping bags and whatnot, and the night kind of wanes on, and one by one, you all kind of drift off to sleep. And once it...
Vincent is staying up to watch.
Vincent's staying
I
up.
was gonna say, shouldn't we do a watch order?
That's up to you guys. I'm not going to call for
Yeah.
watch order. I'll call for marching order, but I'm not going to call for watch order. That's for you guys to decide, because it gives me more. It gives me opportunities to slip things in. So just keep that in mind.
Yes, I know. That's why we're setting up watch order.
So, Vincent.
Vincent first.
So the rest of the party slips off. As
No, Haig will take last.
I'll take second.
so 3 watch. Cool. As the night moves on, and one by one you guys all fall asleep except for Vincent, who's taking first watch. Those of you that are drifting off to sleep, once again, good luck. Vincent, please roll me a perception check. Actually, roll me 2.
No, get tossed in a fucking hole and you away. 8 and 16.
8 and 16. Okay, thank you. I will make note. Yeah, the night kind of wanes on. It's pretty low key night. Not really much. Just kind of the wind whistling through the trees and whatnot. Or sorry, over the plains rather, because you guys aren't in a forested area. Wind whistling over the plains.
I was about to say.
Listen, hear you. Through the grass.
Uh-huh.
It does get a little cold, and you kind of pull yourself in closer to the fire, and you don't really notice anything going on, all things considered. But then again, it is pretty boring here. Oh! Jay has redeemed Lady Luck. We will give that to the next person. One moment. Let me double check with my Twitch. 1 second, folks. Because I'm going to really need to write these things down. So, Lady Luck. Lady Luck is advantage on the next attack roll, so that will not happen until attack. So right now they are rolling.
Yeah.
They're rolling skill checks.
There was also one for hit harder earlier.
Yeah, that was for 1d4 damage. So you will get to choose who gets that during combat phase. if we get to it today. One moment, please. All right. So, you you don't really notice anything, and after a while, after a few hours, your watch does come to an end, and it is time to rouse the next person.
Which I believe was Nico. So
Yep.
Vincent just wanders over to Nico and lightly pokes at him. Hey.
Everything going okay?
Oh yeah, quiet night.
Good. Ah,
Well, just stay awake. I'm getting some sleep.
okay, good night.
Falls over.
And as you do, you hear the same thing that everybody else heard. Just that high, cold-pitched, predatory laugh. Good luck.
Fuck off.
Nico, you hear Vincent mutter just in his sleep, fuck off. Roll me two.
That's normal, I assume.
Roll me 2 perception checks, please. We are going to keep watch out for the night.
One's a 10 and one's an 18.
10 and an 18. You're more wiping the sleep out of your eyes and whatnot, and you're a little bleary-eyed, trying to pull yourself back into some sort of frame of consciousness. Watch the typing, please.
Sorry.
Trying to pull yourself into some sort of frame of mind that's somewhat conscious, and you don't. Things tend to go fairly smoothly. You hear what might be a howl off in the distance, and for some reason you hear the hoot of an owl throughout the night. You hear the wind whistling through the grass, and the fire starts to get a little lower, at which point you grab a few more arrows from Ilardis's quiver, and pull them out, and throw them on the fire, and the fire blazes up. But nothing overly eventful happens as your watch draws to an end.
Once my watch is ended, then I'll go over to Haley and gently shake her. Time to wake up. It's your turn.
Bah! Your little fist will come out swinging.
Roll me a reflex. Roll me a dexterity check.
Sure. 21.
You manage to avoid the tiny little fist as it comes swinging at you. You're used to Hig at this point, and you realize that this might be kind of a knee-jerk reaction, not quite awake. And just the fist doesn't really make contact with anything.
Sorry to startle you.
And she'll actually like pull all the hair out of her face. You don't get to see that very often because it's usually like always hanging down in there, like up to here. So you just like see the big green eyes, like, oh yeah, watch. Okay, you go sleep.
Yeah, good night.
Good night. And she's just gonna slowly pick her way to the fire.
Roll me 2 perception checks, please.
(20 and 14).
Not bad. I like. You hear kind of bats. Almost sounds like leathery wings, like bats swooping overhead to and from. Off in the distance, every once in a while, you see what might be a firefly or a lightning bug, that sort of thing. You can hear the wind whispering through the grass, much like the others did. You hear an animal call off in the distance, and then, another one answering back. And then a third one chimes in with an outstanding opinion. But other than that, it's a pretty chill night as the sun slowly starts to break over the horizon. The sky lightens and the sun bursts into full view, bringing dawn to the next day. And the fire again getting low, you pull some arrows out of Ilardis's quiver, just throw them on the fire, and the fire blazes back. And figure it might be time to start rousing the party, because you've got a fair bit of journeying ahead of you.
Yeah. So she's gonna start poking everybody. She doesn't actually go up to them. She uses mage hand to shake them awake.
I don't wanna.
Well, too bad. And you feel your blanket going.
You're gonna need 2 mage hands for Vincent.
I was using that.
I want to go to this freaking mountain. We got a long way to go, and it's time to get up.
I'm up. I'm up.
Does Vincent have pants on?
Vincent has to sleep with pants on. He's with people.
Just because he's with people doesn't necessarily mean he cares enough to sleep with pants on.
I mean, you're not wrong.
Listen, you guys are not ready for that kind of glory.
Oh, you wait till Pig has a chance.
You're right. I'm not ready for that.
God damn it. I choose to be here.
Yep.
It's your fault.
Uh-huh. Right. As you guys... So, you wake Yuki and Vincent up. Are you waking the rest of them up, too?
Yeah, she wakes everybody up and then basically starts heating up cream and just portioning out rations for everybody. She's got some, I can't remember what kind of rations I grabbed, but I know I grabbed a bunch.
So you start cooking your rations in a way that only a brownie can. You take these rations that are... you know what? Roll me a survival check. We'll go with that.
I don't actually have that as a trained skill.
Okay, so... do you have performance?
Nope.
Let me go take a look at your character sheet. One moment, please. Let me see here.
I mean, maybe insight?
Nope, insight's not going to cut it for this.
Craft?
Do you have craft?
That's not even on here.
Alright, one moment.
Oh, wait. Craft is a...
Yeah,
Pathfinder thing.
Pathfinder has a lot more options, which is why I'm just kind of flummoxed
You
here.
don't have survival.
Medicine?
So I don't think survival... I don't think you need to be trained in survival for this. You should just have, like, a modifier next to it.
Let's see what happens. Oh, no, that did not go well. That was, like, bad.
Please roll me a survival check.
Slightly better with a 7. Yeah, it's tanking me.
Okay.
I could just, like, roll a 20 if you want. Like, just a random.
There's nothing to add to it. It'd be a straight D20. They do actually have a modifier for a survival check on their D&D character sheet.
Yeah.
So, alright. So, you start prepping this food. These rations, which are normally bland and boring and dry for everybody. As you guys start to wake up, you smell cooking food almost. And it almost smells like kind of the sizzling of bacon. Smells that you've never really smelled before. You're not quite sure how to take it. It's not quite it's not exactly unpleasant, but it's not exactly the best. It smells better than those rations you're used to eating on the road, though.
Smells like burning.
It smells like burning.
Miss Hoover, I ate my red crayon.
So, you guys get up and have your breakfast. How long are you guys taking to get on the road this morning?
Not too long.
Not too long?
Get up,
Yes.
eat, brush my teeth with some dirt or something, and off we go.
Nico, you were going to say something?
Pretty much what he said as soon as we're done eating. I agree.
Hig, Yuki, and Alardis, do you concur?
Yes.
Cool.
Yeah.
We're actually going to go with this music instead. So,
Just side note, I'm assuming we would have from everything probably took about an hour or so.
give or take. I'm assuming
Yeah.
like standard pack up. You guys didn't really say you pulled out tents, so what I'm assuming is your basic setup: a fire with your sleeping rolls around it, and somebody's standing watch.
Yeah. While everybody would have been getting ready and everything, Heg would have basically inhaled all her food and started working on what she could before they got moving again. And I guess she would have spent all of the night before going to bed doing some of that too.
We'll say you got at least a couple of hours of
'Kay.
Planning done, so you can knock that kind of off. We'll say it'll take about 10 hours. You got about 2 hours last night worth of working on things done. You make sure you pack it all back so it's stable and it's not really going to jostle around. So everything is secure. So when you're moving throughout the day, you're not going to run the risk of things exploding on you. That's
Yeah. Sounds good.
So
Vincent kicks out.
go ahead.
Oh, Vincent kicks out the fire, dumps a bunch of dirt on it, and off we go.
Yeah. Alright, so, this is day 1. 1 second. I need to know your marching order. Who's first?
Same as yesterday.
Same
Yeah,
as
I think that's
yesterday.
easy enough.
As well.
Okay, give me 1 second. Let me make a note.
Stick with what works until it doesn't.
I mean, if it ain't broken, don't fix it, right?
Yep.
You guys move on, and Ilardis, I'm gonna need a couple of rolls from you for the morning. Perception checks, please.
Okay.
And I'm just gonna go ahead and pop our music in the chat here. 1 second. Oops. Alright. Good to go.
7 for the first, 12 for the second.
Yeah, dude, your eyes are glazed over. It's same thing day in and day out. Or, sorry, hour in and hour out. And every once in a while, you actually have to uncross your eyes. As you're staring off into nothing.
Yeah, I'm laying on Kiba's back with my arm up in the air to see if I can get a bird to land on it again.
Roll me an animal handling check.
5.
Nope. That bird actually somehow manages to give you the middle finger.
Yeah, it shits on you.
No,
I was thinking that too. Bird poop right on the head.
For that, have been a
Vincent is a-
1.
Vincent is also going to try and lure a bird.
roll me an animal handling check, please.
19.
Vincent! You're just standing there with your hand out for a moment. And with a
Singing like a Disney princess.
with a piercing cry, you actually managed to get a hawk to land on your hand.
Vincent kind of looks at Alardis and is like, this is easy. feeds the hawk some meat. Lets it go on its way.
Well, with my arm up still in the air, I'm just gonna like aim my fist toward Vincent and put my middle finger up.
The hawk The hawk kind of screeches happily and takes the meat and flies off back up into the sky with its treat.
Mm-hmm.
As the day moves on, you guys pull out your rations and have a bite to eat while you're traveling, I assume. And
Yeah.
afternoon, we're going to need 2 more perception checks from whoever's in the front. With the glazed over elf.
If I'm right behind him and still keeping a look around, can I roll perception as well?
Absolutely, you can. I love it.
$21 for the first.
Nice.
Finally, nice.
There we go.
19 for the second.
Nicely done.
Sweet.
You notice a couple.
Very good.
You notice a couple of gophers sticking their head out of the ground. A couple of, they look kind of like gophers. You're not quite sure they 100% are, but they just kind of stick their head out of the ground as you guys pass by every so often. That forest starts to get closer and closer. And
Hig
God,
rolled
it's
a
gaining on us.
Hig rolled a 17 and a 10.
and Vincent, you were saying?
I said, oh God, it's gaining on us.
Hig, 17 and a 10.
Yeah.
So for the first little bit, you're fine. Like, you're keeping an eye out and watching. You notice a couple of the gopher-type creatures poking their head out of the ground. And then your mind starts to wander. It's dull. This isn't what you want to be doing. And your mind starts to envision these schematics that you're drawing and trying to make things connect and work. And you're picturing it in your mind almost in a kind of a 3D landscape, right?
She's daydreaming.
Yep, daydreaming. And you don't really notice yourself slipping into that.
Okay.
And for the evening, we're going to need 2 more, please. So I'm going to make you guys work for this.
Mm-hmm. Vincent's also going to have a quick look around as well.
Sure.
While he's in the back.
So, that's a 24 on a nat 20.
Nice.
10.
And a dirty 20 for the second.
Okay. Vincent?
And... why can't I find it? There it is. 10 and a 13.
And somebody else was going to say something.
Yeah, 23 and 21 for me.
Okay. Anybody else?
I'm so bored, my eyes are glazed over and everything. I notice nothing.
Nico?
Didn't roll then.
You what?
I didn't roll. I guess he's too busy, like,
Did you say
person.
Did you say you rolled a 1?
No, I didn't.
Okay. So I believe it was Vincent that rolled under, so it was Alardis and Hig that got the decent rolls. So Vincent, you're just, this is boring. You know, you'd almost rather be as frustrating, not as frustrating, but as tough as it is. When you're fighting things, you do enjoy it, and you'd almost rather be doing that than this, given who you are. Whereas Hig and Ilardis, you start to notice off to the sides, like these spindly little shrubs starting to poke up out of the ground every so often. There's no regular interval between them. But they do.
With a 20 and a 21.
You did? Okay. Yeah, so you'd be along with Alardis and Hig at this point, as you notice these shrubs starting to poke up out of the ground. It's not tufts of grass. These are like definitely trying to grow into trees here. And moving on through the evening, these trees start to grow a little larger and larger. And then, before you guys know it, they're spread out all around you. One side to the other. Giant trees. Several meters high. Just from out of nowhere. It's like this forest literally sprang up in front of you with no explanation.
Is it getting very dark?
It's getting towards evening, so yeah, the sun's starting to set.
Hig's going to check her map just to see like where the start of the forest is in relation to when they're going to have to start to climb.
Roll me.
I believe using a map is a survival.
Yeah, roll me a survival check.
Crap.
While that's happening, Alardis still has his arm up to see if he can get a bird again.
Roll me an
15.
Roll me an animal handling check, please.
That's better. 16.
Yeah, only for a moment. One of the birds comes down and kind of lands on your arm and just kind of looks at you and lets out a squawk.
As soon as it lands, I'm going to cast the Animal Friendship.
You,
Alright, what does the spell do?
It lets me convince a beast that I mean it no harm. I choose a beast that I can see within range, which happens to be sitting on my arm. It must see and hear me. If the beast's intelligence is 4 or higher, the spell fails. Otherwise, the beast must succeed on a wisdom saving throw or be charmed by you for the spell's duration. If me or one of my companions harms the target, the spell ends. And at higher levels, I can convince another one, basically one more above the first.
Alright, one moment while I pull up a bestiary. You said a wisdom check?
Yep.
And it needs to beat?
Wisdom saving throw of 12.
Let me see here. It succeeds on its wisdom saving throw.
I just give it a little bit of jerky, and if it wants to go on its way, I'm not going to stop it.
It actually gives a happy little squawk as it picks up the jerky from your hand, and it sits there for a moment, looking at you.
I give it a few gentle strokes and ask if it can do me a quick little favor.
And it just kind of... Are you actually, like, talking to it?
Yes.
Normally?
Yep, just normal. Well, probably in Elvish, but yeah.
One moment. Let me check something. It tilts its head to the side as you ask.
I have one more piece of... In Elvish, I'm going to say I have one more piece of jerky for you. Can you go just above the tree line, see if you can spot anything? 1 squawk for no, 2 for yes.
Interesting. Well, it's, it tilts its head at you again.
I'm going to give it the piece of jerky, and I'm going to kind of move my arm to not toss it, but like just to basically let it take flight when
And it
I move my arm.
pulls the piece of jerky out of your hand, and it flies back up into the sky, heading away from the forest.
I don't think it worked.
Yeah, I had a feeling it wasn't going to work, but yeah. And it's got a meal out of it, so it's whatever.
Never hurts to try.
Pardon?
Never hurts to try.
Nope, it does not.
With that in mind, I'm going to try animal handling.
Sure. I like
I rolled
like how
the
you
nat
guys are just
20.
absolutely fascinated with this bird instead of saving the world.
I rolled a nat 20.
You managed to get a bird to land on your arm. Not a problem.
And I can't magically speak with animals, but I'm going to say, hey bird, can you go and see how far we are from the mountain from this point for me? Cool, thanks.
And he tilts it.
Roll animal handling again.
Tilts his head.
7.
Tilts his head. Flies off. With a bit of a squawk. Almost indignant that you didn't have a piece of jerky for it.
He'll be back.
I rolled 15 on my survival check, by the way.
Right, we were doing that. Fuck. I got too wrapped up with that, apparently. Fuck. So, As far as you can tell, you are actually at the edge of the start of the forest. There's this path that kind of leads in. Another few steps, and you guys are going to be almost enclosed with this, enclosed in these trees. This looks like an actual road, and roll me a perception check, Hig, since you're doing cartography shit.
8.
Okay. You can hear the breeze kind of moving through the trees and whatnot, and you remember what that the tavern keeper said to you back at the Cow and Grape, that the path that you could see going into the forest from one side you couldn't see from the other. This is obviously not that path, because this is actually like a well-traveled path at this point. So the path that they were talking about must be a bit further in, but there's no way to be 100% sure.
All right. Hig's going to suggest that they stop here before they get any deeper, and so that way they get as much day hours to make the rest of the climb tomorrow.
I'm sorry, say that again?
Hig's going to suggest that they make camps here before they get deeper, so that they can get more daylight hours the next day.
Okay. So, what does the party say?
I agree.
I agree. I'm okay with it.
Ilardis?
Yeah, I'm down with that too.
Cool. So, you guys make camp, and the sun sinks lower in the sky. Again, you guys manage to... who's making the fire tonight, actually?
Why don't we do the arrows and firebolt thing every time we camp?
I mean,
Yep.
you guys are in a forest, so... Well, sort of in a forest. There are trees
Vincent
around.
is gonna clear a space.
Sorry, Vincent is gonna clear a space for the fire. Okay. Well,
And I mean, is there any deadfall trees around?
roll me investigation.
Okay.
Hig is going to look for deadfall as well.
Roll me an investigation.
11.
11. Okay.
18.
Hig, you actually managed to find some deadfall, as does Vincent. It's enough to actually hopefully have enough firewood for the night. You don't have to use Ilardis's arrows tonight, it seems.
Cool.
And it is actually fairly dried out.
Probably smells a lot nicer.
So, who's making the fire?
Same trick as last time, I guess.
Yeah, I'm just gonna firebolt it.
Okay.
Pile me up a bunch of flammables and I'll set it on fire.
Cool.
Oh, you pile up the wood,
Make it all nice and neat so that it doesn't like spread or anything.
and your cleric sets things on fire. I love it.
So, while we're camping, Vincent is gonna practice his animal handling with Gabby.
With Gabby, right?
Yeah.
Roll me 3 animal handling checks, please.
Sure.
I'm gonna touch his shoulder and guidance him.
Okay. Roll your guidance.
So that's advantage.
No, that's I believe a
You get
D4.
an extra D4.
Extra D4.
Yeah.
So that 9 turns into a 13.
So you're playing with Gabby and whatnot, and Gabby's just kind of yipping a little bit as the fire crackles merrily in the background. And
That is a 14, a 12, and a 1.
yeah, so Gabby starts to get a little bored and seems to be trying to chase gophers in the ground. And Gabby starts to wander off a bit.
Not too far.
Gabby doesn't pay any attention.
I'll just follow Gabby around.
The rest of you, please roll me Constitution saving throws.
Oh, yikes. So that was a 1 that turns into a 2.
Okay.
I'm dead, Jill.
19.
11.
4.
Yuki and Ilardis. As the fire starts up and watching Vincent chase Gabby around, just trying to make sure the dog doesn't go too far. You don't really notice. Well, Hig and Nico notice, but Yuki and Ilardis don't. As this soft smell of... it almost seems to be coming from the fireplace. It's a heavy, perfumed smell. It seems to be lulling Yuki and Ilardis into some sort of sleep as their eyelids start to get heavier and heavier. And a moment later, they're unconscious as the smell just completely overwhelms them.
I'm immune to magical sleep.
Uh-oh, that's not good, guys.
Yeah, Lardis wouldn't fall asleep magically.
Oh, right, sorry. Ilardis is immune to sleep, so just Yuki. My mistake. So, Yuki, Ilardis, you would have been grouped with Hig and Yuki. Or Hig and Nico. Thank you.
I rolled an 17 on an Arcana check. Do I know what the funky smell, sleepy things?
17 on an Arcana check? No.
Fuck.
Could we put the fire out?
Yes, put the fire out. Just get, yeah, there's a little water canteen that gets basically chucked at your face.
The fire's...
Sorry,
go ahead.
I was gonna say, what about a 20 on nature?
20 on nature. Let me think for a moment. As far as you can tell, this might be a survival mechanism for the trees, but you're not 100% sure. It could have been... something could have been infused with the trees, or this could have been a naturally occurring thing for them.
Okay.
So, Nico, what are you doing?
Putting out fire.
Describe to me.
Don't breathe in the smoke.
He takes the canteen that the pig just pours out the water onto the pig.
Roll me a Constitution saving throw, please.
Sure. Not as good. 12.
Nico. Grab the canteen. And you unscrew the top. And you move towards the fire. And you feel your eyelids starting to get really, really heavy. And the rest of you, with the exception of Yuki, see Nico drop to the ground. The canteen, the canteen slipping from his grasp.
Can I use Mage Hand to catch it?
Sure can. Your mage hand manages to grab this canteen and just hold it steady.
I'm gonna be holding my breath now. And pour that bitch over.
Okay. You know what? Holding your breath, you're not really breathing in the smoke, so I will give that to you, actually. So,
Yeah.
you take the canteen, hold it upside down over the fire with your mage hand, and the water pours out of the canteen and onto the fire. And the fire hisses and sizzles for a moment before the flames start to die down, until all that's left is embers, glowing embers, and even they start to fade. And then a moment later, the fire is back roaring exactly as it was.
Shit. Smother it! Smother it!
Vincent, what are you doing?
going after Gabby. Hey, please come back. Come on.
Roll me animal
Come on.
handling.
Hey, come on, please. Please.
I like how you guys are dealing with the fucking fire. It's just like trying to make sure the dog doesn't like fucking run off.
17.
Gabby just kind of stops and looks up at you for a moment, looks around, and looks back up at you, barks.
Come on, I'll get you some food.
And Gabby's tail wags, and Gabby comes back and follows you back towards the fire.
All right.
Do I notice? Sorry.
No, I was gonna say, walking back, I'll notice when the fire goes out, and I'm like, what the hell?
So, Ilardis and Vincent, you guys would absolutely notice when the fire kind of goes out. You would notice the people dropping to the ground. Right now, Yuki and Nico. That would be something that's just a given.
And Hig has shouted once or twice for "Don't breathe in," but
Okay.
Nico missed it.
So, Vincent, still a bit away from the party, but moving to where he could at least see them, says, "What's going on?"
The wood is the fire. The smoke is putting people to sleep, and it's not coming off. We need to smother it. And you'll see Hig kind of doggy paddling sand or dirt or whatever she can, just kind of like throwing it on top of the fire to try and kill it.
Alright. So, Vincent will kind of put Gabby in like his pocket, and he'll get over and kind of just get one of the cloths for like his sleeping set, kind of put it around his mouth nose area, wrap it around his head, lower head kind of thing. Then he'll grab his shovel and he'll start working to put the fire out.
Roll me a Constitution saving throw at advantage, please, Vincent.
$15.
Excellent, thank you. We're going to move to Ilardis for a moment. What are you doing?
I'm with Hig, but instead of doggy paddling dirt onto the fire, I'm using my foot and just kicking it and making sure that Kiba's still kind of awake and with us, because he doesn't have that immunity.
Ilardis, roll me an insight check. Since you're an elf and you don't fall magically asleep, I would assume you are breathing as normal, yes?
Yep. That's a 7.
That's a 7? Okay, thank you. So, you guys do manage to take the sand, or the dirt, and shovel it onto, and scoop it and throw it onto the fire. And as you do, the flames start to die down. Lower and lower with each scoop that's put on this fire. And then a moment later, the flames are right back where they were, burning and crackling.
Alright, something magical is going on here. Like, actually magical.
Yes, and I already tried rolling my arcanas and stuff. I can't figure out what's doing it.
Is anybody actually paying attention to anything other than the fire? Or are the three of you more consumed with that at the moment?
Well, I believe we've all been kind of paying attention to the fire.
Okay, just checking.
I've got like half my attention on the fire, half on everybody else to make sure that they're like at the very least okay and not dead.
Ilardis, roll me a perception check. Actually, better yet, what's your passive perception?
My passive perception is a 14.
14? You hear a giggling sound coming from somewhere inside the woods. Sounds oddly familiar, and you can't quite place it. And a moment later,
Hey.
the flames are gone.
gone and not coming back.
You stand there and you watch the flames, and they are out.
Alright. Some magical fucker is fucking with us.
Nico and Yuki, please roll me Constitution saving throws.
Hig's going to do a quick perimeter search, and then just visually, and then attend to the people that got fallen asleep.
Sorry, you're going to do a
perimeter search, and then check on the downed people.
Okay. Roll me perception checks then. 2.
Vincent, while everybody is checking on everybody else, Vincent is going to rev up his motorcycle, put the high beams on, and have a look around himself. Like, not driving his motorcycle, just kind of wheeling it around.
Yep.
Like a flashlight?
Using the light.
Yep,
Yeah.
that's fine.
Like a big-ass flashlight.
That's fine. We'll get to that in a sec. For those of you doing perimeter checks,
I rolled a 17 and a 10.
perimeter seems fine. Nothing seems really out of place within the immediate area of your camp. How are you checking on your teammates?
Are they breathing?
From what you can tell, yes. They're just in a deep slumber.
I rolled a 15 and a 12.
Again, nothing seems really wrong with the perimeter checks. So, Yuki, what did you get?
I rolled a 1 and it turned into a 2.
Oof. Nico, what did you get?
3.
Oof. Vincent, roll me a perception check, please.
Yes.
Actually, yeah, roll me a perception check. That'll work.
Alright.
Roll me a perception check.
21.
Looking around with the high beams, you see basically your motorcycle roars to life, and the light. It takes a moment for the light to come on, but the light does eventually illuminate everything, and you don't really see anything amongst the trees. Then again, you can only see so far in. Nothing on the path that you can see, and nothing on the path behind you either.
Right. Alright, I'm just going to keep an active watch around while everybody is checked on.
And in that vein, I rolled a 14 on medicine. Are they regular asleep? Are they in danger in some way?
Whatever effects they were under is starting to wear off. You can tell. They're more just in a... They're getting closer, sort of closer to a regular sleep, if that makes sense, instead of like I don't want to say an enchanted one, but that's kind of what it is.
Yeah.
Induced sleep.
Yeah, induced sleep. That word works beautifully. Thank you.
Okay. She's just gonna make sure that she's not in panic range, I guess, if somebody wakes up startled.
Yeah,
and keep an eye on everything.
Okay, so you're watching over them. So, for Vincent and Ilardis, what are you two doing?
Again, I am still keeping a watch, active watch around the camp, shining the high beams around.
Yep. You don't really see anything. Again, you can only see so far into the forest with the high beams from your bike. There's nothing on the road.
I'm also keeping my pistol at the ready, pointed at where I'm looking.
Yep.
I'm basically doing the same thing. I'm keeping watch, only except for the pistol. I have my bow and an arrow knocked back.
Nico and Yuki, please roll me Constitution saving throws again.
12.
You guys are more just in a regular slumber at this point.
Should we let them sleep or slap them awake?
No, we need to... I don't know how I feel about us staying here for the night, not that we have any other options, but getting them awake and mobile as soon as possible is best course of action right now.
I think we should back out of this part of the forest into somewhere more open.
Yeah,
So,
back up into the plains and
just a bit, like so that we can at least get back here within an hour once morning comes.
Yeah.
All right.
So, slap, 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 slap.
Yep.
Wake up!
You guys would feel those slaps not a problem, now that the effects of this induced sleep has worn off.
They're little tiny smacks for a brownie. You're fine.
Ow, what the hell? Ow!
The first thing you notice as your eye... Sorry, Nico, go ahead.
I was gonna say, what happened?
The first thing that you notice as your eyes open is that that fire that you guys had built up is out. Vincent is standing there with his motorcycle revving, with his motorcycle engine idling, rather, his high beams on. Both him and Alardis are at attention, and the brownie is standing in front of you, slapping the shit out of both of you.
The frick, Hig!
You fell asleep.
So you slapped me?
Well, you see, we're kind of in a not great spot, and you need to wake up right now so that we can go to a better spot. 'Cause firewood just made you sleep.
It's not safe here.
That's awkward.
And she's just gonna, like, pull on your shirt and be like, come on, we gotta go.
Fine, I'll stand up and take Hig with me.
Nico?
That's the spirit.
Nico?
Because he already knew the danger.
Pardon?
He already knew the danger from me.
Yep.
So he got up quickly.
Okay. So, you guys are backtracking a bit?
Yeah.
Yep.
Moving out into the open plains. A bit away from the mouth of this forested road/path. The air starts to clear up. It's not so heavily perfumed. You can smell whatever this is coming off of the trees, and the moment you step out into the plains, you can definitely tell there's a difference in the air quality here. As the fresh air blows across you, there's actually a fairly decent breeze going on here. It's not a great... It's not like a huge breeze, not enough to like put a fire out or anything like that, but it's enough to just rejuvenate all of you from whatever this perfume or this smell or whatever this was. I mean, it basically like washes across all of you and just... it blows across all of you and washes the last vestiges of this off.
I'll pull my makeshift scarf down from my face, breathe in the clear air. Okay. Should be better where we're not where we'll have a little more visual of our surroundings.
And if we have to make any more fires, we definitely need to keep using Alardis' arrows. Sorry, buddy.
I have infinite, it's fine.
Alright.
Okay.
So, make our camp back up, I guess.
Yeah, make your camp back up. Reach into Alardis' quiver, grab your arrows, make your fire. 1 second. That's not a problem. Your fire kind of roars up. You don't really smell anything coming off of it this time. And your fire starts crackling merrily. Nice, warm, cozy, as you spread your rolls out. And settle down for the night.
Same watch order?
Yeah, I'm good with that.
Yep, I'm good with that.
Vincent, roll me 2 perception checks.
Yes. Alright.
And Hig's going to spend some time building as well.
Mm-hmm. 11 and 7.
Sorry.
Yuki, you were going to say?
Are we wrapping up soon? Because I really need to run to the bathroom.
You run to the bathroom if you want.
Okay, I'm going to do that then.
I was just gonna say that I needed to go too, so I'm gonna go to the bed.
Go for it if you want. Don't take too long, but you can go for it. Alright, so you got an 11 and a 7?
Yep.
So, after the events of what has just transpired with your comrades and their fire and the firewood from the forest, you're coming down from a kind of a heightened state of agitation. And you don't really notice much. It's more just you're trying to relax or shake off whatever you're feeling. And this is, of course, detracted from your ability to see what's around you.
Right.
But you're still trying to keep a lookout to the best that you can, and you don't really notice much of anything. You see the forest, of course, looming ahead of you, and kind of the path that you guys have traveled behind you. But other than that, there's not much there.
Good. Well, I
As
believe
your-
next watch is Nico.
I was going to say,
so-
as your watch slowly starts to come to an end, again, you beef up the fire with some of Villardis' arrows.
Mhm.
And you go to wake up Nico.
Give Nico a poke poke. Poke poke.
Yeah, I'm awake. I'm awake.
Alright, good. Time to get a watch on.
Okay, you have a good sleep.
I will. And he'll toss himself over onto a nice comfortable rock and fall asleep.
Nice comfortable rock, huh? Love it. Nico, you pull yourself up out of your sleep. Again, still a little groggy, but your watch begins. Please roll me your perception checks.
I'm
I'll be right back.
Welcome back.
Wow, that's some shitty perception. 6 and a 7.
That's a what?
6 and a 7.
Ooh, ouch. Alright, so you're more concerned with the fact that your cleric has, been subjected to this induced sleep. You're trying to make sure that your cleric is okay, the rest of the party's okay. And you're lost in your own thoughts, because you've never heard of any, or seen anything like this. You don't know what this could be, and it is highly puzzling to you. But at the same time, it also has you highly concerned. And as you're lost in your thoughts, you slowly start to lose track of your surroundings as you dip further into your thoughts. Before you realize, a few hours later, that the sun is starting to rise, and you have actually gone right through the end of your watch to the end of Higgs.
Stayed up too long. Oh well. Let them sleep a little bit longer.
And as the sky starts to lighten and the sun starts to rise and break over the horizon, the fire, which is now almost nothing but embers, it's just kind of sitting there, not really warm.
Wake up everybody else. Guys, it's morning time. Sorry, Hig, I didn't wake you up for the watch. I'm strict.
Sorry, you're breaking up really bad, Geeky.
Hold on.
Yep. One moment, folks. Technical issues.
I'm gonna wake up the rest of the party
Mm-hmm.
and be like, sorry, Hig, I didn't wake you up. Lost track of time there.
Hig's going to blink up awake, kind of look at the sun and you, and it takes like a few minutes before it clicks. And she just sighs. Well, okay then. I guess I'm making alarm clocks next. And she's just gonna whip off the blankets and start making stuff.
Yep. So, like food or like crafting or what kind of stuff? Because making stuff with Hig could mean a lot of things.
That's true. Okay, so first she's gonna heat up her morning cream,
Mm-hmm.
and then she's gonna fiddle with as much building stuff as she can until everybody's ready to go.
Fair. So, you heat up your morning cream and whatnot, and you start fiddling with stuff, and you guys, about an hour or two later, have your camp packed up and ready to go. And it is up to you to figure out what you are doing next.
Hig's going to hand the map over to Alardis. You've got survival trained, right?
Yep.
Yeah, and since you've been leading, she's going to hand you one of the copies of the maps because she's made several by now. I guess technically she's got one for everybody. She just hasn't handed them out yet because she kind of forgot. She's gonna like, here's your copy of the map, and I don't know how to go from here. I've never traveled on my own. This is very much you guys' deal. I'm gonna help as much as I can, but I think from this point on, somebody else should be giving the directions, because I'm gonna be trying to make sure that we don't get fallen asleep or something again.
Yeah, that sounds good to me.
So, Ilardis takes the map. You guys are going to have to figure out what your plan of attack is for this forest.
I'm back.
Welcome back.
And now that she's
Actually burn the entire thing down and solve us all those issues.
Roll me. No, you know what?
I'm joking.
No, you're good.
Mm-hmm.
No, it wasn't that.
No.
I was gonna do something else, but I was gonna go a different way, but we're not gonna go that way. So, yeah, the artist takes the map, and like I said, it's up to you guys to figure out where you're going with this.
Nico's actually gonna walk up to one of the trees, because I can do this, and be like, "We're so sorry about burning one of the logs yesterday. We're just trying to make our way through. We promise not to harm you. Just don't harm us in return. Okay, thanks."
What ability are you using?
Hold on.
I think
Is
it's
it-
the commune with plants or something. Commune with nature. I can't remember.
Speech of beast and leaf.
That one.
Yeah, speech of beast and leaf.
So, read it out to me. What does it do?
Debauchery.
You can communicate, though not understand beasts and plants. Have advantage for charisma checks to influencing.
So you can talk to them, but they can't talk to you.
Exactly.
Basically.
Gotcha. Okay. You don't really notice any sort of change in anything.
What are they saying?
You need to leave your motorcycle behind. It's a pollutant.
Tell them to go to hell.
Hig's going to be handing you guys each maps while you're having your discussions. And when she hears you two talking about pollutant for your motorcycle, Hig's going to interject. Be like, I can actually probably change your power source if you want. You know, if we don't die here.
It's actually a magical power source now. I had that changed a while ago.
Oh. Well, okay.
There's no pollutants coming from it.
Yeah, we fixed that because he didn't want to pollute the environment. Fucking barbarian, you know, smashes through everything. Fucking makes an ass out of himself in public. Doesn't want to pollute the environment. Can't say I disagree with that.
Hig totally
Yeah.
respects that.
You know what? Ripping a tree out of the ground is only one tree. If I start putting shit into the atmosphere, that's all the trees.
There you go.
So, how are you guys tackling this this forest ahead of you?
We could burn it.
No. According to the map, like, how far into this... Do we know exactly where up this mountain we're aiming for? I cannot remember.
It's on the map. Someone marked it on the map.
You guys
We
know
had-
you're heading up the mountain.
Yeah.
They don't have topography of the mountain itself. They have of the surrounding areas and the mountain, but they don't have any maps of the mountain itself.
Right, so we have maps that have communities in the forest, though. Like, I remember somebody marking that off. Like, in the forest around the mountain. So I'm assuming we were headed to one of those nearest, like, along our path.
I sort of remember that, possibly.
Yeah, because we were in the archives. We were
Yeah, and
asking
his
who
was
lives in the
talking
mountain.
Everything.
I don't think we got that precise of a detail.
Really?
Yeah, I think it was just like, yeah, there's like villages and stuff like in the area, but I don't think when it comes like close to the forest and in, I don't think there's anything like mapped community wise. Like, yeah, sure, there's probably like trappers and stuff like that that go there, but if I remember correctly, that mountain's pretty much always been like a no-go zone.
I could have sworn somebody had gotten notes about communities in the forest. I guess not. Then I genuinely don't know.
You know what? Hey, roll me an insight check. I'll give you... We'll see what you get.
12.
12? You vaguely recall there being something about 2 towns within the forest itself. You're not sure where they are. You can't quite remember, but there are supposed to be 2 towns somewhere in this forest. These would be the people that come in and out of the forest to do trade with the surrounding areas. Again, it's going to take them a couple of days to get down there. But, again, you're not sure where they are.
But if there's enough for a town, then there's obviously like often used pathways and stuff like that that we, I guess, will need to be keeping a lookout for.
I rolled a 21 on survival.
What are you attempting
With
to,
the-
what are you attempting to do with your survival roll?
Survive.
That. But on seriousness, I'm getting Kiba and I'm basically like, okay, I think I got this map figured out. Let's go this way. And he points in a random direction ahead of him and starts walking.
So Lars basically just says, this way, points ahead of him, and walks off.
I mean, we got across the forest anyway. There's no way around it.
All right. Yeah, I guess we're gonna have to start somewhere. And since he's apparently figured it out without telling us what he's figured out,
Okay, cool. Let's go.
you're the
So,
experts.
So, you guys move towards the forest following Ilardis in the direction that you were moving last night. And
Oh, sorry.
go ahead.
As we're going, I'm just gonna every once in a while do an insight check on Ilardis to see if he's still not under some kind of effect.
Roll me an
Like,
insight.
see if he's acting like Ilardis.
Roll me an insight check. Goonie Galaxy, welcome on in. Thank you for the follow.
18.
Thank you for the follow, and yeah, I mean, Critter's like right here, so enjoy that.
Goon is from the Makers Galaxy TMU. It's where I do all my crafting stuff. Great community.
Cool.
Highly suggest anybody in here check it out.
Thank you.
It's not my channel, otherwise I would do some drops.
No worries. So just a heads
Yes.
up, we do D&D every 2 weeks, and we do kind of a book club every Wednesday, which we'll have an announcement coming up here at the end of stream, but we're going to slip back into our scene. What did you get, Vincent?
I got an 18 on the inside.
Insight? Ilardis seems fine. Nothing really seems off about him. He seems in his right mind.
All right.
I rolled an 18 on perception just for keeping a look around.
Yep. The trees again start to grow up out of the ground, and before long, it's like you're surrounded in almost this archway of trees as you walk literally into the forest. It's not just gradual; it's just suddenly you're surrounded by trees. You can look, and it's almost like a doorway with this road.
That feels unnatural.
I know it feels unnatural.
Is it supposed to? Should I? What if I? Let's roll on this. Let's see what happens.
So, for those of you that are in the chat, if you would like to listen to the music that our players are listening to, there is the link, bardly.io link. You are more than welcome to come and join in the ambiance. You can adjust the volume on your end. I don't have to do anything other than play the music, and you can control how loud it is. Find yourself a decent volume level, and away we go.
So that will be a 16 on nature. Is this occurrence normal, or is like this whole thing just a big magic watch out?
So, as you walk into the forest, you're immediately assaulted by that perfumey smell. It's not as strong as it was last night with the fire burn, but it's still there. There's hints of it in the air. Looking around with your 16 in your nature roll, look around. It's almost like it was designed to grow this way. Somebody formed this somehow. You're not sure how, but it's almost like they wanted a doorway to be there.
So as we enter, there's 2 spells I want to cast.
Okay, what's the first one?
First one is going to be Speech of Beast and Leaf.
Okay.
I'm just going to basically talk to the forest around us, just be like, hi, we are not here to hurt any of the forest. We just need to get through, just passing through.
Okay.
Please don't hurt us.
Okay. And the second? So you get, first of all, you get no response from that because you can't really understand them. There seems to be no noticeable change.
No, it's just letting the forest know, hey, we're not here to hurt you.
Yep, that's fine.
And the second one's going to be Detect Magic. Just looking around, seeing how magical this place is. See if anything lights up.
Interesting. So as you cast your Detect Magic and you look around, you don't really notice anything from the trees. It's very pretty, but it's almost like a forested canopy above. You don't really notice anything from the trees. It's when you look at the soil that the soil starts to light up a little bit. It's faint, but it's there.
Hey y'all, the ground's magical. I don't know if it's enchanted or what, but the ground itself is magical.
How magical? Like, what does it do?
I just know it's magical.
What would a 17 Arcana get me for knowing what that would do? Would be, or whatever.
That would actually get you the School of Magic, which you would also get through the Detect Magic spell, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, except I don't have that one equipped today.
It's an enchantment spell.
Haha, so this is artificial. Peg is going to relay that after giving it, I think.
The healer,
this is
the healer Yuki would also have access to that information as well.
So I feel like more and more we're walking into a setup. Hig is telling you guys this.
Yeah, this kind of screams trap.
But I really want to kill the dragon bitch, so into the trap we go.
This sounds...
I cast the trap.
This looks like a trap. I want to kill her. Into the trap. Love it. Fucking love it. You guys.
Well, I mean, you know,
We have
she
to
wants
save
see us,
Bob.
we want to see
Have to-
her.
So, we're going to paint a scene as you guys walk through this forest. The canopy overhead It seems to draw in closer to itself, almost, to the point where the light from the day starts to fade a little bit and darken. And the trees start to grow closer together, and this road, this kind of dirt and gravel road, turns into more of a forest path almost. Not quite what the tavern keeper described earlier. It doesn't look like you're quite there yet. And then, almost without warning, you're walking in through what appears to be a boundary to a town. A couple of buildings on either side. A couple of wooden structures. They look like almost guard posts as you guys approach. And there doesn't appear to be anybody there.
Uh-oh.
Nobody comes out to greet you. And everything is silent.
Does the place look like it's been abandoned for a while?
Roll me an investigation check.
I rolled an 18 on perception for similar checking life signs, abandoned, violence.
Quiet. No life signs. The buildings don't look abandoned. But it is silent. The only thing you can hear are your footfalls, your party, and your breathing.
I'm gonna... The first building we cop to, like, that looks like a home or something, I'm gonna kind of knock on the door. Hello?
You don't hear a sound, and when you open your mouth to try and speak, no sound issues forth.
I look at, like, was there a sound from my knocking?
No.
I look at the rest of the guys and kind of raise my hands up, like, what the fuck?
So you know how I've always got notepads and pens on me? I'm gonna pull one out and jot a note, hold it up, and be like, isn't this like the bubble from the Debauchery district? And then just kind of shrug at everyone.
So, if Hig is trying to speak right now, there's no sound coming?
Correct.
Okay, this is her first real-time adventuring, so she's kind of freaking out here.
Vincent is gonna go and open the door.
The door's locked.
Gonna look in through windows.
There are no windows.
What the
There's
heck
no
kind of
windows.
house has no windows?
Are there any windows on any of these buildings? Ground level?
Roll me an investigation check.
I can't just see. 3.
No, not that you can see.
Hig is basically like frantically tugging on Yuki's like pant leg or whatever, and just gesturing like that she wants to just get the fuck out. Let's go.
Yeah, I'm gonna scribble a note and just kind of tap everyone so they read it. We need to leave.
Thumbs up.
Ilardis?
Thumbs up.
Thumbs up from me too.
So, you guys are leaving?
Yep.
GTFO
On the
track
boat.
town.
You go to move back the way that you came, down the main road. And that's when you discover that the entrance to this town that you guys came in through is gone. Trees and vines
Fucking knew
covered,
it.
and that's where we're going to end session for today.
Go.
No,
The Debauchery district all over again, you guys.
we're all gonna die.
All right. So, for those of you watching, we hope you enjoyed that. Thank you for joining us once again today. I got nothing. Give me 1 sec here while I turn on our regular music, our intro and outro music. It's been my pleasure bringing this to you. You'll have to tune in 2 weeks to find out where the party's going. Where the party's going from here. They are now not able to speak. They have no sound, and they are now their path has been basically blocked. So, yeah, it's gonna be fun.